The Russian Foreign Ministry statement says that in response to a series of unprecedented sanctions from the United States, they were imposing sanctions on President Biden and representatives of the United States leadership, which include Secretary of State Blinken, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs General Mark Milley, and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. The sanctions would prohibit travel and freeze assets held in Russia. The 13 listed individuals also include former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and the current White House press secretary who offered this response.
I would first note that President Biden is a junior, so they may have sanctioned his dad. May he rest in peace. The second piece I would say is that won't surprise any of you that none of us are planning tourist trips to Russia. None of us have bank accounts that we won't be able to access, so we will forge ahead.
The Foreign Ministry also indicated that it would maintain official relations with Washington and, if necessary, ensure that high-level contacts with people on the list could still take place. This, as Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is due to address the United States Congress on Wednesday.
We have to isolate Russia completely. They cannot be in any of the international organizations. They cannot sit around the table unless they stop this brutal aggression, ceasefire, and get out from our country. This has implications for all of us. It's not about Ukraine only. The world as we knew it and the security infrastructure, global infrastructure, which all countries worked so hard to set after the World War II, is no longer there. So the question actually to all of us is it okay for an autocratic, aggressive nuclear power to attack a neighboring state and get away with it? And I'm positive that all of us together, all the civilized world, has to answer decisively no.
US and NATO allies have been apprehensive about calls to establish and enforce a no-fly zone over Ukraine, a key demand out of Kiev, and one President Zelensky is expected to push on Wednesday. The White House also confirmed that President Biden would travel to Europe next week to attend an extraordinary NATO summit to discuss ongoing deterrence and defense efforts in response to Russia's attack on Ukraine. Biden is also expected to join a European Council summit on the imposition of further economic costs on Russia and on the provision of humanitarian support for the growing number of victims of the war. Sherman Briceby's SABC News, New York.